to sing with us the very best way of welcoming Shabbat. Hello. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. As we are welcoming everyone and making sure everyone has a Siddur, our Mishkan Tefillah, our prayer book, we are going to ask ourselves a question. And the question comes from the 4th chapter of Pirkei Avot, the ethical teachings from the rabbis of the Talmud. And they asked 4 questions, but I'm just going to start with 2. The first question is, who is wise? Now, you may be looking around the room and say, oh, someone here is going to answer that question, who is wise? But the rabbis, they were wise themselves, because what they said is those who learn from other people are wise. And they also asked the question, who is strong? And it isn't whether or not you went to the gym today. It isn't whether or not you did a whole bunch of push-ups or pull-ups. It's whether or not we have that ability to control our emotions, to control our inclinations that might lead us down paths that take us in the wrong direction. So as we enter Shabbat, we consider these 2 questions: how we are wise and how we are strong. So we are here together, being able to celebrate life's wonderful joys and to be able to take that breath that is part of Shabbat. I invite all of us to take a deep breath. On Shabbat, we get our breath back. And we are here with our cantor, Alicia Stillman, our Rabbi Andrew Oberstein, and Rabbi Dan Slipikoff. I'm Rabbi Elaine Zecker. We're joined by our musicians, our tech crew, all those who feed us, and together we can bring Shabbat in, and we do so with light. Page 2.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Tomorrow morning, we will call Ari to the bima as a bar mitzvah, and we invite him to come forward to lead us in Kiddush, page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amimim v'shabbat kadshecha be'achava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha'shabbat. Amen, amen, amen.
Ari, we really look forward to learning from you and to hearing you share your wisdom that we're going to get to learn from you tomorrow. And now we get to sing.
Page 12. Bizmirot nariyalo L'chunan henana Adonai Nariya l'tzuri sheinu L'chunan henana Adonai Nariya l'tzuri sheinu L'kadma panav v'toda Bizmirot nariyalo Let's do that one more time, everybody together. I invite everyone to turn to page 20. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is you are going to rise in whatever way you're lifted. You're going to take your prayer book and you're going to put it on your seat behind you. And then you're going to find someone you actually do not know, not someone that you do know. And you're going to, with a pleasant countenance, introduce yourself. Say, hi, how are you? Learn something about somebody else. And then when you hear the music, you will stop being so friendly and you will join together in Lecha Dodi. So, go. Going to welcome Shabbat, page 20. La 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 lecha dodi, ya la la likrat kala, ya la la penei Shabbat nekabela, ya la 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 lecha dodi. This is your part. Yala la elikrat kada. Yala la penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 1. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmiyanu ela meyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem ol tiferet v'lichila. Whoa, yalla la la lecha dodi, yalla la likrat Shabbat, yalla la penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Makor habracha merosh mikeden mesucha sof ma'aseh b'makshava tchila. Whoa, yalla la la lecha dodi, yalla la likrat kala, yalla la penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Doreri, kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi, kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Whoa, yalla la la lecha dodi, yalla la likrat kala, yalla la penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 9, we rise, we turn to whatever door you're looking at as if we could welcome Shabbat, as if Shabbat could come into this room. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'b'tzochola, toch emunei am segula, boi kala. Whoa, yalla la la
Please have a seat. And on page 22 is our final liftoff into Shabbat, Mizmor Shir, Le'yom HaShabbat. Ya, ya, la, la, ya, ya, la, la, ya.
As the spirit of Shabbat calls us, we rise in body and spirit as we turn to our call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 28. And please read with me at the top of page 31, our prayer for the evening, Ma'ariv Aravim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night as heaven spans to infinity. You set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. On page 32, we are greeted with eternal love, ahavat olam. There are babies crawling around this room and toddlers toddling around this room and bar mitzvahing around the room. There's a lot of love that goes into building that, and we want to include you in it. So turn to page 32 and join us. And here they are now. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם, אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. כי הם חיינו, כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע
Page 34.
ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת.
Please turn to page 40 with all the ahavat and viahavta and songs about love and that big, great ethereal. I'm going to take us to the streets of Boston for a second. I assure you this story is still about love. In the fall of December of 1993, Louis D. Brown was a 15-year-old sophomore. He was looking forward to college, planning to pursue a PhD. He was an avid reader, an engineer enthusiast, and he was deeply concerned about the ongoing violence that he and his peers were experiencing. It was his belief that if true peace is going to happen, it was going to be up to him and his generation, regardless of which side of the street they came on. Louis was caught in a fatal shootout near his home in Dorchester while on his way to a Teens Against Gang Violence meeting. At that time, there were no resources in Boston for survivors of homicide, which left Lewis's family leaving the hospital empty-handed and empty-hearted. His mother, Clementina Cherry, co-founded the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute in 1994 to honor his legacy, continue the peacemaking work that he led, and provide essential services to so many in our community impacted by gun violence. This Sunday, as we do every Mother's Day, many of us from Temple Israel will be marching, walking in the Mother's Day Walk for Peace. As we sing Micha Mocha, our path towards freedom, we know that we take steps every day. If you're able to on Sunday, join us in body and in spirit. We sing our song of freedom on page 40.
Micha Mocha, Vailim Adonai, Micha Mocha, Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilo.
On page 42, our prayer Hashkivenu recognizes the evening turning into night as a scary time, as a time of uncertainty, a time where our thoughts might run, a time where we need extra peace and security. And so our ancestors created this prayer to watch over us, or to pray to be watched over as we lie down to sleep. It's a beautiful song we sing together.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu leChaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu leChaim. Ushmor tzedkeinu, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu leChaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu. Page 44, this promise to one another to always return. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. Oh, 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 baby. עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We're always asking you to raise your voices in song and sing with us and be loud. And in this moment, we're going to flip the script and look inward for a moment of private prayer as we reach our Amidah. Our Amidah begins on page 46. I sort of lied. We'll actually join together in an intention that we have the right words, whether they're in our heart or on our page or somewhere out there. And then we'll take that time privately to pray the words on our hearts, to pray the prayers in our prayer book. We join together for this sacred moment. We rise in body and spirit.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agid tehilatecha. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai.
Our Amidah continues on page 48, 50, and 52. This sacred time is yours. Please pray privately. If you are still praying your Amidah, please continue. And at this moment, we turn our hearts towards the east as we mark day 581 of war in Israel, which has felt like a never-ending nightmare as we think of every person killed, every hostage taken in this horrific reality. We've seen countless attacks and wars and military operations only to end up in the same position time and time again. Violence has failed to produce lasting safety and security in the region. There must be another way. There must be a path of peace. A solution that is birthed by those who believe against all odds and in spite of our tortured and violent past, that a shared future is possible. We add our voices to those who pray for peace as we sing Oseh Shalom on page 62.
Oseh Shalom.
עשה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. יאי לה 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 עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
With words of peace on our lips, we recognize that all of us in our own ways are in need of healing, are in need of love and prayer, physically, spiritually, emotionally, in ways we don't recognize about our neighbor. We take a moment now to just be, to sit, to direct our thoughts towards those areas that we need healing, to send it out into the rest of our community so that together we can heal ourselves and heal one another. We do so in silence.
Me
healing. We're praying for healing. Time stops, and every minute, every day counts. We are in a period where we are counting. We are in the period of the Omer, and because we are together on this evening and Shabbat, we count here as well. The blessing can be found on page 278 in your Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu al sfirat haomer hayom shiva ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot ve'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 27th day, making 3 weeks and 6 days of the Omer.
We began our Shabbat service with the question, who is wise? And we also asked, who is strong? And now we're going to ask the question, who is rich? Ve'ezehu ashir. Or we might ask the question, Ve'ezehu asher. Now it's spelled a little differently. That first version is, who is rich? And the answer is, the one who is happy with his portion, even if he arrives 4 weeks early. So we are going to invite Asher, whose name will have another meaning, and we're going to invite him to come forward. And I think there's an older sister who might be engaged. Okay, so that's when she appears, we'll welcome her. You want to just come up here? And we have this talit that has the Hebrew word asher, happy is the one. Yes, hi Asher, I'm standing here and you are all the way over there. And we're asking a question about you because your name is Asher. Now the two of you stand here because you are rich in love. And the blessing of first of Shoshi, and now baby Asher, whose name sounds like the Hebrew word for rich, but that spelling shows the manifestation of what it means to have such resources as these children. You stand here because you rejoice in this bounty. And as the psalmist continues, and we welcome Shoshi to come up, coming up here, you're going to go up. Right. Doing this very special blessing because we're talking about Asher and his name. And you have a name too, Shoshi. And that name has this phrase from the Psalms, you shall enjoy the fruit of your labors. That goes to you, Janessa. You shall be happy, and you shall have the goodness with it. These words are prescient for this very moment as we welcome Asher into the community and give him his Hebrew name. There is another question of these 3 questions that gets a fourth. Who is honored? Mechubad. The one who honors his fellow human beings. And we will add those beloved human beings who came before him. So Asher Elliott Treach, you are named for the matriarchs of your family, just like Shoshi is named for the patriarchs of the family. So Asher, your first name is with the A, to honor the Abeglin family, Andrew's mother's lineage, who were adventurous, intelligent, and deeply devoted to family. And the closest, Beglin, Andrew's grandmother, Lucy, was so loving and generous. And that's why you carry that name of Asher, because it makes everyone so happy. A guiding value and intention for your family. And Elliot is to honor Edith, Janessa's paternal grandmother, known to her grandchildren as Mima. Edith was a beacon of warmth and light, and she was a consistent positive presence throughout Janessa's childhood and college years. And last, your last name is Treach, to honor Asher's maternal lineage. It's also a demonstration of the equal partnership of your parents and the intention that you both grow up with the knowledge and connection to both sides of your family. And together, we know that you like to be called, just for fun, with Treach and Clemenza, the Tremenzas. So little Asher has already shown his personality in all these traits of loving, generous, and joyful, of determined and positive. From his early arrival 4 weeks early, he was ready to enter into life. And with this honor of those who came before you and the answer to the question, who is rich? We all are, with your birth and the presence in our lives. So now, Shoshi, will you help me hold this piece of paper here? Because this is it. Okay, we're going to hold it because we're going to give you this Hebrew name. You get this Hebrew name. Yeah, and it's, you say it, Asher. You say it out loud. Say it really loud. Asher. Elliot. Ben. Gittel. Meir. Andrew. As you have entered into the covenant of life, so may you enter into a life of study. May the written words enlighten your eyes and mind, and may you one day, like your parents, find for yourself a worthy companion, one whom you can trust and love, preserve and protect. And may you, little Asher, may your hands and heart always be doing good things so you can do the work and partner with God in the work of creation. Yeah. Now, I'm going to give you a little blessing, but I'm not going to pick you up because I am wise enough to know what you're willing to do. But may you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition and your words filled with insight. May songs of praise ever be on your tongue and your vision on a straight path before you. May your eyes sparkle with the light of Torah, and may your face reflect the brightness of its letters. May you, little Asher, may you live to see your world fulfilled. And as God has brought you into life, may we celebrate this moment together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Amen and mazel tov.
Simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulecha Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael.
Also wanted to say that the grandparents are here, David and Rhoda, who are known as Grammy and Papa, and Anne known as Grandma. And I think that even great-grandmother Lynn is also with us online. So This is a moment in our service that we call this quiet in the sanctuary. As you know, before then, we just love the noise of children and singing and everyone. But from this moment through Kaddish, we have a moment that we focus our attention. And so we have down the hall a place called the Rainbow Room where the parents can go and you can bring your children with you if you want, because, you know, those parents are so noisy. So we want to just make sure that you know that there is a wonderful children's place to be and that you can be there or sleep there as we enter into these moments where we are learning together.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. There's a famous Hasidic story relayed by Martin Buber in his book, The Way of Humanity. And the story tells of a man who had trouble remembering things and often had difficulty finding items in his house. Surely no one here can relate to this. He would wake up every morning and run around his house looking for the clothes he was hoping to wear that day. And it got so frustrating that he soon grew afraid to go to sleep at night, fearing the now all too familiar routine of frantically searching for his clothes. But then one night he realized he had more control than he thought. And so he took a pencil and paper, and as he undressed in the evening, he wrote down the location where he had placed each article of clothing. So the next morning, the guy woke up and took his list in his hand, reading each item one by one. Hat, I left it here, and here it is, and now I'll put it on my head. Pants, I left those here, and here they are, and now I will put them on my legs. He did that with each item, shirt, coat, shoes, until he was fully dressed, at which point he felt himself start to panic, asking, yes, but where am I now? Where did I leave myself? The story tells us that he searched and searched in vain, but could not find himself. In the original context of the story, the man is described as a simpleton. And on the surface, there's something laughable about his conundrum. But on a deeper level, I can't help but identify with him, especially this week. Just 2 days ago, I moved out of my apartment in Mission Hill into a sweet little house in Dedham, giving me that long-needed sense of serenity I have craved after decades of urban living. But for now, 48 hours in, I am the man from the Hasidic story, surrounded by boxes, unable to find my pants, not sure what day the trash goes out, and trying to find myself in the process. I realize I've never mentioned it from the Bima, but I got divorced in 2022. It's not a secret. It's just part of my story, and it's just not something that comes up naturally in most sermons. But this little house in Dedham is actually the first place I've ever moved into by myself. At age 37, currently in a wonderful new relationship but choosing to live separately, this house feels like an important step. So far, even 2 nights in, it has felt like a sacred experience, knowing that it is mine, and mine alone, holding visions of all the laughter and the tears that this space will surely absorb in the years to come. It's no sanctuary, but it is my home, and it is a holy space. This week, we enter the exact center of the Torah, and we find ourselves exploring what it really means to be holy. It's a word that we throw around often in religious contexts, but this week we are finally given concrete actions that we can take in pursuit of holiness. One path to holiness comes to us this week, smack dab in the middle of our Torah, in one of the most famous biblical passages in all of biblical literature. Lo tikom velo titor et bnei amecha. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against members of your people. Ve'ahavta l'reyecha kamocha ani Adonai. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am God. This week, I am deeply aware that I don't even know who my Dedham neighbors are, never mind loving them. I am the newest stranger in the neighborhood. I can only imagine a time when I might know my neighbors' names, maybe even one day invite them over for a glass of wine on my back deck. It will likely be a while before I love them as myself. But the aspiration is inspiring nonetheless. Ve'ahavta l'reyecha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's very easy to focus on the first two words. Ve'ahavta l'reyecha. Love your neighbor. It could stop there. That alone would be a powerful message. But that third word, kamocha, like yourself, is where I think we need to focus. We speak a lot about our external responsibilities. We feel our sacred tradition calling us to take care of the most vulnerable, to stand up for justice, to treat all humanity with basic dignity and respect, to love the stranger and love our neighbors. Yes, we are all interconnected, and we need that reminder now more than ever. But Buber also radically teaches us that every individual is independent of all others, he writes. An autonomous person whose transformation helps to transform the world. His teaching reminds us that the word kamocha might actually be the most important part of this verse. What is essential here, he writes, is to begin with oneself. He calls the transformation of myself the fulcrum from where I can move the world. The Polish Hasidic master Rabbi Bunham taught, only after one has found peace in oneself can one begin to seek peace in the whole world. And the international drag icon RuPaul taught, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? What Martin Buber, Rabbi Bunham, and RuPaul all understood is that I can't host my neighbors for a glass of wine on the back deck until I've unpacked my boxes and settled my kitchen. In the face of rising anti-Semitism, eroding democracy, endless war, and financial distress, we feel the urgency of jumping into external action mode as quickly as possible. But it can also become too easy to deride spiritual inner work as apathy or navel-gazing. It is anything but. Especially during this period of the Omer, as we cultivate the soul traits that help us become better versions of ourselves, we must not dismiss the power of internal transformation. For those of you who already feel your feet on the ground, who are already anchored in a sense of purpose and clarity, keep going. You are the steady lights by which others may find their way. And for those of you who, like me, are still surrounded by metaphorical or literal boxes, still searching for your spiritual pants, still wondering, where did I leave myself? Take heart. You are not lost. You are just in the beautiful, messy, holy process of becoming. The man in the Hasidic story thought he had everything he needed once he dressed himself. But he forgot to locate the one piece that mattered most: his self, his soul, his essence. The part of us that can't be listed on a sheet of paper or tucked into a closet. That's what this verse in Leviticus is pushing us toward. Ve'ahavta l'reyecha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself, not instead of yourself, not at the expense of yourself, but as yourself, with a deep and abiding commitment to knowing who you are, tending to your soul, and doing the internal work that makes the external work possible. This is a spiritual season of counting up from liberation toward revelation. It's also perhaps a time for finding our footing, finding our breath, finding ourselves. And so as we stand here in the very center of our Torah, may we have the courage to begin at the center of ourselves, to open the boxes, not just the ones in our new homes, but the ones in our hearts, to settle in, to reflect, to do the sacred, slow work of becoming whole. May this work lead us to love each other by loving ourselves. May this work lead each of us, individually and collectively, to the sacred.
Amen.
It is upon us all, Aleinu, the back inside cover of your Siddur, your prayer book.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula le'yotzer breshit, shehu asanu l'shomrei ha'adama, vehu samanu l'shlichei ha'torah, shehu sam chayenu itam, vegor aleinu im kol ha'olam, v'anachnu korahim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad.
In a moment, we'll turn to page 294 for Kaddish. In the words that we say, the Aramaic words that we say, is the word nechamata. It is the word that means comfort. To remember, to fill the empty spaces of our hearts with memory is one of the ways our tradition teaches us about comfort. We remember those who have died during the past month and whose loved ones are in Shaloshim, the 30 days of mourning. Matt Berkovitz, Paul Berkovitz, father and son, Ernest Claughton, Chicky Lampert, Judith Levy, Stephen Lopez, Theodore Raphael. If there are those you are remembering whose anniversary of whose death is commemorated this week, if you are online, I will invite you to say the name out loud, even as I invite you to write the name in the chat. And if you are on site, I invite you to rise so that you can share the name out loud, as is the sacred obligation to remember that we can say the name of those we remember. So if you are here remembering someone, I'm going to invite you to rise and to stay standing. Please stay standing.
We add to those names Esther Ruth Rumpler, David Rumpler, Warren Chernick, Mickey Levinson, Phyllis Reynolds, Gary Jules Richmond, Jean Davidson, Evan Garfinkel, and Penny Broad.
Zichronam levracha, may remembering bring great blessing. We rise to surround you with comfort and love as together we offer Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman karev v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olmei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yita'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu, le'la min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Please stay right where you are as Lauren Lepat, beloved leader of this congregation, comes forward.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov. There's so much joy and things to celebrate today, so I feel like people found themselves. Ari, Mazel Tov on your bar mitzvah. And to Georgia and Jesse, so excited for your whole family and for the Treach family and Asher and all the new people in our community, and just how wonderful it is to be together. There is so much more. There is so much happening at Temple Israel. You can look at the board up there and see that next Shabbat will be our education Shabbat. So I'm sure there will be a lot of dancing bodies in this room. Also next Sunday, you can come and make lunch for those in need. And please remember when you come to the synagogue to bring food for the hungry.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, if you are having a becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, would you come forward? And if you are the older sister of someone becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, and if you're a friend of someone becoming bar mitzvah, did I miss anybody else? Okay, good. All right. So, oh, and cousins. Where are the cousins? If your cousin is becoming bar mitzvah and you're in his age cohort, will you come forward too? Okay. So everyone's going to take, come on forward, come on. Everyone's going to take a hold of the tray. The tray, hold the tray. Hold the tray. All right, and now Ari's going to lead us in. Right?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please remain standing and turn to page 321 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Leit Nasa, V'chefza Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kechlot HaKol, Levado Yemloch Nora Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Leit Nasa, V'chefza Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni, Lahamshilo Lahachbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Leit Nasa, V'chefza Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu
צורכם לי בעת צרה, אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוסי, מנת כוסי ביום מקרא, אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נשא, בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, בידו אפקיד רוחי, בעת תישן והעירה אדון עולם, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא, אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נשא, בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
Shabbat
Shabbat
And we
shalom.
go to the atrium for our oneg, for the make room for the
Riverway
next service.
Project.